What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and today we're saying goodbye to 2025 and jumping into our self-made time machine, traveling back to when TRL was still hot on MTV. Britney Spears hasn't lost her mind, and Donald Trump was still just in charge of Trump Towers. We're traveling back to the Attitude Years, and you can check out season 1 through 3 and the archives. So let's get started. Today we're covering WWF Smackdown from March 1st, 2001, live live in Tucson, Arizona. We have Kurt Angle coming out to start the show, and he shows footage from Raw's War when he put the WWF Champion The Rock in an ankle lock. And Angle goes on to say that The Rock is walking on his own simply because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin, you made me angry, and you also made your pal upset. Rock was going to rock bottom his good friend Stone Cold Steve Austin. I want a match with either one of you. So then Stone Cold comes out first, and Austin says, "You're out here flopping your gums. I don't give a damn how mad you are. You said you were going to whip my ass, and I'll be in a stretcher." Stone Cold and The Rock are not pals. The Rock is a WWF champion, and I got a vested interest in his health. Since you ain't the champion, I don't have a rat's ass about your health. And then the WWF champion, The Rock, comes out. Rock says, "Austin, The Rock, we have a date with Destiny. Austin, with all due respect, I don't want or need your help." And then Rock ends up saying that if anyone's going to be whooping Angle's ass tonight, it's going to be The Rock. That's when Vince McMahon and William Regal come out. And Vince goes on to say, "We got a situation. I'm impressed with Kurt Angle. He has the size of grapefruits to challenge Stone Cold or The Rock." So what Vince decides to do is book The Rock against William Regal for the WWF Championship, and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. And then Austin and The Rock attack Regal and Angle, and that ends the first promo of the night. Pretty much the main thing to discuss here is that Austin is interested in The Rock staying healthy for WrestleMania. He doesn't want The Rock hurt. Rock doesn't want Austin's help, and we're going to see what happens between these two later on in the night. Our first match, we have Lita and Matt Hardy defeating the team of Molly Holly and Crash after Lita lands a flying Hurricane Rana to Crash, and Matt hits a twist of fate to Crash to get the win after Lita and Matt Hardy kiss. Not a lot of stuff here, just continuing the storyline of Lita with her man Matt Hardy. That is until like 4 years later when she hooks up with Edge. We see the Radicalz are backstage, and Chris Benoit confronts Eddie Guerrero. Eddie promises to be there for Chris Benoit. Benoit doesn't trust Eddie and tells Eddie to stay out of his business or he will end him. Eddie then gets in Benoit's face, yelling at him, and Benoit says, "If you get involved, you'll have to prove me wrong." So we're getting a split here, it looks like, between the Radicalz. We see Christian attack WWF Tag Team Champion Bubba Ray Dudley backstage with a chair shot. And Christian was amped up by Kurt Angle because Edge got hurt in the tag match at No Way Out. We then see Chris Benoit taking on X-Pac with Justin Credible. Early on in the match, Eddie Guerrero comes out for commentary. The Radicalz also come out, and Eddie Guerrero attacks X-Pac from behind. Benoit applies a crossface. X-Pac taps out. Chris Benoit gets the win with some help from Eddie Guerrero after the Radicalz attack X-Pac and Justin Credible. And it looks like, although there was some tension between Benoit and Guerrero, it looks like the Radicalz are okay this week on SmackDown. We see Steven Richards and the Right to Censor backstage. They're interrogating Val Venis, and Richards tells the rest of the Right to Censor to be prepared to take actions against Val. We don't know what Val did, but clearly there's some emotional abuse going on here for Val Venis.
I'm wondering if he didn't do something nasty with Cat.
Probably. WWF Champion The Rock defends against William Regal here, and Kurt Angle comes out during the match and attacks The Rock after Angle applies an ankle lock on The Rock until Rock is able to escape, grab a steel chair, and lays out William Regal with a chair shot. So Angle continuing to interfere in The Rock's match, trying to hurt The Rock before WrestleMania. William Regal apologizes to Vince backstage for what just happened, and Vince is like, "No need to apologize. I'm very happy with your performance as of late." So clearly Vince likes Regal here. We see the Right to Censor attack Val Venis.
I think Vince is playing around with everybody.
Probably. Right to Censor attack Val backstage, and then they come out with Val Venis. Richard says, "We fight the good fight. We're not perfect, but we strive for morality." Val then grabs the microphone and says, "I stand before all of you as a man who once could look in the mirror, but now that image disgusts me. I chose lust above all else. I wasn't man enough to turn away from temptation, and I allowed that vixen to wrap her perversion around me." So I'm assuming, like you said, it's about the cap. Val gets on his knees and apologizes. Richard says, "Forgive this man." They all hug until the APA come out. They attack the Right to Censor and land a double power bomb to Steven Richards. Thank God for the APA, because I'm tired of the Right to Censor, man. They keep fucking with everybody, and it's not right. Next up, we have the Brothers of Destruction and WWF Tag Team Champion Devon Dudley teaming up against Christian, Haku, and Rikishi here. And a decent six-man tag match. The end comes after Undertaker chokeslams Christian and lands a last ride. And the Brothers of Destruction and Devon Dudley gets some revenge on Rikishi, Haku, and Christian. But the commentators pick up that it's not going to be the end for Rikishi, Haku, and the Brothers of Destruction. So we'll see what happens on Raw. Next up, we have our main event here. The WWF Champion The Rock comes out on commentary. We have Kurt Angle taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this is a good match between the two. The end comes when William Regal comes out and brawls with The Rock on the floor. Regal and Angle attack Stone Cold Steve Austin, so Austin gets a DQ victory. After the match, though, after Rock clears house, he looks to lay out Stone Cold Steve Austin with a rock bottom, but Austin turns around and catches him before he can do it. And again, The Rock almost kind of looking
I
heel
think he's
here.
kind of psyching him. I don't think
Yeah.
he was really going to do it. I think he's kind of psyching him out. You know, I think he's trying to make everybody wonder and keep us on the edge of our seats.
But he's definitely getting in Austin's mind a little bit here. Every time Austin turns around, he's almost taken out by The Rock, you know. But Austin's playing mind games of his own, like he keeps protecting The Rock. So one of these guys, man, it's not going to be good.
And I like this because for the first time in a while, like, usually when you got two baby faces, it's going to suck. This is, like, crazy because this is, like, the two biggest baby faces ever since, like, Hogan. You know, like, these are real huge faces. And, like, I'm just interested to see who the crowd's going to be chanting for.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. So this is a month away from WrestleMania 17. It's April 1st, so we've got a lot coming your way. Yep. Not a lot happened on this episode. We're just getting more hype for Rock versus Austin. We haven't seen Triple H since No Way Out. Trish Stratus wasn't there. We barely saw Vince. So pretty lightweight episode here of SmackDown. But we've got a lot more coming your way. So make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment. Let me know, what did you think of this episode of SmackDown? Whose side were you on, Rock or Austin? And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.